Wait,
he
what are
came
the
to me and
political
asked me.
concerns?
Yeah, what are some political
can you talk
concerns?
about that?
You can go ahead and
Yeah,
go
I
ahead
wanna
and
know
Concerned
now.
about the voices that get platformed here occasionally.
Like what?
So
You
have, like,
can call him out if you want.
Oh, call out.
Do it.
I'm concerned about Knut and Slicker. They both spout hate speech.
Slicker, do you consider yourself to be a hateful person?
Nope.
They never
I
do.
think you're just ignorant.
If I was a hateful person, then I would have never messaged Grosco again. You know what I mean? I would have just left it.
Alright.
Listen,
Yeah,
I don't hate.
reached out to your fucking white
Casey,
male
it's smart
buddy.
what you're doing. Casey, I like how you're trying to get
Actually
yourself.
tackling
What? I'm just calling.
fucking
I'm just
moron.
calling you
Listen,
out.
Continue with what you were saying, Slicker. Go ahead.
That's what I thought, motherfucker. That's what I'm trying to say. When Casey Chunk came on the fucking stream first time, she was acting like a little bitch. She wasn't saying shit. She wasn't saying shit. Now she learned like a little nerd. She went on her like a little sad nerd.
I studied it. I was like, there's a lot more to it. It's a game. I analyzed it. I made notes.
On somebody else's
Hold
platform.
on.
Hey, Alebrelle, you
Stop.
fucking fat piece of shit. Stop shit talking me.
What are you doing here,
What's up,
Knut?
Knut.
Hold on.
I heard that fucking
heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm not.
you're a racist person.
Dumbass.
Hold on.
This
Wait.
reminds me of those old episodes of WWE when like the person would come in out of nowhere with a chair.
Yeah, this is WWE. I've seen it a lot, Destiny. That's why I came on.
Knut, I thought you were busy today. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, but I can fucking still join Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, anyway, but what...
So okay, Alebrelle, what makes me racist and what kind of hate speech do I do on Discord?
Why were you banned, Knut?
How's that
Making a joke? A
What was
normal
the joke
joke
about?
that
He doesn't understand it though.
Canoe, you made a mistake.
it was
bro.
about a stereotype.
What stereotype was that, Knut?
It was Arabic guy being
Okay, right, Knut, you don't have to...
okay.
Right. So
But it was literally an
No, it's Alebrelle. Alebrelle.
It's not appropriate, but it was a
Alebrelle, listen, that's not racist at all. Racism is hate. Making a joke about a
Advocating for
stereotype.
the removal of people for being dirty and bad for your country is not racist.
No, Alebrelle, listen.
He literally
I
sent him
didn't.
both, though.
You didn't
quiet. Let
even.
them talk.
Let me speak. Alebrelle, you didn't even hear the joke if you say that, because he was pointed away because he came up driving a place where he wasn't allowed to fucking drive, and the police pointed him away.
Knut, let's not go into the joke, okay? Let's avoid the joke itself.
Why do you
Yeah,
want to
but-
avoid the joke, Raj?
Because it's
If
got him
it's not
banned.
racist, what's the
This guy's a
problem?
dirty little snake, bro. He tries to stir up so much shit so he can get banned. Dirty little piece of thumb shit, bro. Shut up, man. Shut up,
Are you
Alebrelle,
projecting,
man.
Slicker?
Let's
Listen.
tone it down
I
a
wish I
couple
knew
of
what that
notches,
meant.
all right? Okay.
Can I simplify this real quick for them
yeah.
both?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, listen. Here's why it's not racist, okay? Here's why. No, I'll tell you why right now. Listen. I know Knut. Everyone who knows Knut's intention. He doesn't mean it racist. It's technically, I guess it's racist because the effect of it to people he doesn't know comes off as racist because they don't know Knut well enough to understand.
Can I go
he's
after this,
not-
Raj?
He's
There's
not
active
racist.
and passive racism, and both are
Casey,
bad.
Racist
guys.
jokes don't make you racist.
Okay, we're gonna go Destiny, Casey, Allie. Go ahead, Destiny, please.
Okay, your intentionality doesn't matter when you're making racist jokes or you're doing certain things. The problem is that people often use humor to flirt with more nefarious things. So somebody might spread a whole bunch of racist humor, and then later on, it makes it easier to introduce actual racism into that person's life. This is like a super well-documented thing. It's like crypto, or without getting into like too many memes.
Okay.
Like basically, people do this shit all the time. Where you make like, go
okay,
for it.
but just okay, but the only thing it could be whoever, like, it doesn't matter what the race he was. It was just randomly a guy that was an immigrant.
Oh sure, I don't know about your joke. I don't know what
that's
joke
the
Alebrelle
point.
was referencing, but
My point,
Casey,
real quick. My point. Listen, what you're saying, Destiny, is I completely agree with. Like what you're saying.
wait, but what I
is-
just said was totally opposite of what you just
No,
said.
it
You were talking
wasn't.
about
He
It
always
No,
agrees with
no.
Destiny because
Oh
he has
my
a crush
God.
on him.
Hey, train. Before you go, can we hit Casey and Allie?
Casey, then me. Go.
It's one sentence. It's one sentence.
One sentence from Train, then go to Casey, then Allie. Go ahead.
One sentence with a comma and then another sentence. That's it. Okay. Listen.
Okay, it just increases.
What I was saying, and what I mean by you're right is, Was the comment racist? Yes. But Alebrelle is saying Canute is racist. I don't think Canute is racist. He made a racist comment, but I don't think he is racist. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying.
I fully agree with that.
Right, okay. Casey now.
I probably agree with you.
I just said pretty much what I wanted to say. There's like active racism and passive racism, and I think passive racism is something that I don't know. I don't want to say we all kind of do. I just know like I've had some stereotypical thoughts before, and I think the way to overcome it is acknowledge that you're doing it.
Yes, I would like to further that. But would you stop?
It's my turn to talk, bitch.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Allie.
Oh no,
Allie.
Hey, listen, everybody cussing each other mad. It gets in my head. Right, listen. Right, okay.
Wait, Raj, didn't you call all the girls on Rajj Royale before bitches?
Okay, listen, guys.
Yeah, but he's doing it in a nice way.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment. When you call him,
he was smiling. Grosko was smiling when he said it.
When you call people bitches,
hey, listen.
No.
People knows that she's people knows that she's cute, so it's all good. Right, listen.
Fuck off.
Canute.
Cute and
go on, Allie. Go on, Allie.
Yes. Right, Canute. Okay. How old are you, Canute, again?
32.
Right, he's from a different fucking generation. That's why people see the younger generation as it's racist, but in his generation, it's like maybe nowhere near as racist as it was.
Wait,
back
you said he's
How
32.
old do you
I'm
think
30.
I
We're
am?
not grandpas. What the fuck? Wait.
We're pretty old.
No, but seriously, a lot of young people think, oh, he's racist, but like he's in his 30s. It was different back then.
Gross.
One at a time.
Guys, I will say this. But my auntie is dead now, but she was in a wheelchair, right? And back in the day, they used to say like, oh yeah, she's retarded. That was normal. Nowadays, you can't say they're retarded. You can't say they're disabled. You got to be like, oh yeah, they've got learning disabilities. You got to be so careful now. So yeah.
I'd like to.
Groskar?
Yes, Canute.
To add one thing, I don't think it's the age. I think it's more like the cultural differences between America and Scandinavia. Because what I said here is not. Yeah, America has like
it's so
the line
sensitive
for being a race. Yeah.
Really sensitive.
Yeah. What I said here, no one would even blink.
Oh, can I?
Do you really?
Go ahead.
Who's
that girl talking? Who's that girl talking? Tara, go ahead, please.
Do you really have to adopt the current societal norms in order to not be racist? I mean, if we're talking about, do you guys think that the joke is racist? Sure. But like, is he racist? No. So why are you so angry at him? Or we don't know. We can't possibly know his actual intentions. So
no, as I said,
maybe
for
he
me,
just doesn't want to
racism is hate against the racist. That's
I think
racism
it's inappropriate that Alebrelle is coming on
change. People have if I shoot someone deliberately, they have been murdered. What does that make me in relation to the murder?
So if you tell a joke, you're a joker.
It's very.
I sarcastically murdered them?
No. Hold on.
Canute wasn't even here.
Hold on,
Alebrelle.
Alebrelle, if you murder somebody and it's found out in the court to be an accident, it's called manslaughter.
True. Right, but if I deliberately do it,
they know it's not murder.
If I point a gun at someone and I pull the trigger,
so you think that
makes me a murderer.
You think that making a racist joke is akin to actually purposefully attacking?
I think
someone?
that
Yes. Feels attacked.
Hold on.
By follow of actual logic and how taxonomy works makes you a racist.
And I think calling somebody a racist can ruin somebody's career, especially when they're not even here to defend themselves.
That's if he's a racist, why not call it out? But
okay,
exactly.
Can I say something? Please?
Yeah, Invader, please go ahead, please.
Actually, it was
not
Pooper Noodle.
unwarranted.
It was Pooper Noodle first, but
Pooper Noodle. Sorry, I misheard your accent.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's fine. Pooper Noodle can go first.
You're out of focus,
I'd like to just
Nova.
say, basically, there's this racism, okay, and then there's systemic racism, which is a product that Canute is part of, and like just stuff that's happened like historically and stuff. It's just this product of like that's why he's made that joke. It's not. He's not objectively racist. That's just how, in the society that he's been brought up in.
Systemic racism is when the society itself, when the police, when the law create accidental racism, when we stigmatize the poor and that happens to make black people have horrible consequences in their life. That's systemic racism. What we're talking about here is cultural racism. Canute is being an individual actor choosing to make those choices himself individually. This has nothing to do with the term systemic racism.
But he's not actually racist, though.
Is
so
he getting on
that makes a racist
made
joke.
a racist
That's what I would like
comment
to ask, actually. Here we go.
that makes him racist.
That's the thing.
But you're saying
actions,
comments, not joke.
Well, we're literally talking about his actions. So I'm sorry, Canute, I don't know if you're still here, but you typed something. Which means that you did the action of making a joke that is racist. So that's like 1 point of racism against you, buddy. Mm-hmm. How many points does a person accumulate before they're labeled as racist? If we can't judge you by your actions, then
we're going to cover that in the next round.
Fabulous.
We're going to cover that in the next round. To what extent does it? When does somebody become a racist, and where do we draw the line on humor? Izzy, you're starting off the round this time. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to chime in on this fucking topic because, like, Jesus fucking Christ, the way you guys lined out all of those analogies, if you actually put them together, it paints a much bigger and much more drastic fucking picture, especially here in America. One, the appeal to the societal difference, I'm kind of starting to think that's bullshit when it comes from fucking Canute and them, because I have another streamer who's pretty well known from Norway that really wishes he could get on because he hates the way Canute makes his people look on this.
Every Scandinavian I know says the same thing, yeah.
And then furthermore, when it comes to it, you guys are talking about the racist action versus the actual like racist joke and the ideology, and then someone immediately brought up if your murder gets proven to be an accident, you get manslaughter, because Bro brought that up. These jokes, these racist ideas, these sexist ideas, these homophobic and transphobic ideas can get a murder charge dropped to manslaughter.
Oh my God.
Can I say
literally
something?
This rhetoric is what gives away for that to have.
Can I say, Rajj?
Can I say something, please?
Go on, I want to real quick. Izzy and Destiny both just said they have a Scandinavian friend.
Do you know who's hateful here, guys?
You, bro.
These two bitches,
Holy
man.
fuck! There's 2 Invader Vs on the screen. Why is there 2 Invader Vs? Right, I want to say something about that. Did you guys know that you can go to jail for longer for threatening to kill someone rather than killing that person? So don't threaten to kill someone. You can go to jail for a very, very, very long time. Don't threaten to kill someone because you can go to jail for a very long time.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
It's true,
life.
guys. You can go to jail. Listen, you can go to jail.
Did you guys know that the maximum sentencing length for some crimes is shorter than the minimum sentencing length for other crimes? Oh!
What are you talking about?
What do you
That's
mean?
what you're
That's what I
saying,
said.
Allie.
The
That's what
maximum
you're saying.
sentencing length for some murder threats is probably higher than the absolute minimum sentencing length for some like manslaughter or murder things. Like I'm sure that's possible, but in general, murdering someone is going to be worse than threatening to murder someone. You of all people, as a League of Legends player, should fucking know that.
Google
Destiny, do you think you can
Google
murder somebody with a card?
No, hold up. Who do you think's right here? Destiny or me? Bring it on.
Destiny.
Who do you think is correct? That threatening to murder somebody is probably not as serious as actually murdering someone? I'm going to go ahead and bet here. I haven't even researched it. I'm going to put money
the
on
chat know I'm smarter than you, so stop arguing. Let's move on. Thank you.
All right, let's
Rajj.
go back. Yeah, go on,
Rajj,
go
I on.
on,
Say this right.
Sorry.
These two, Alebrelle's talking about Canute's hatred. Wait, how do you say it? A hateful person? Is that it? Right. Is that what he's trying to do, right? And then he said, I'm hateful. Homie, you are hating on us. You are the sort of people that hate on us, thinking we hate on people. Do you know what I mean? You are the ones
Slicker, you got an hour-long transphobic homophobic rant on podcast.
One at a time. I understand.
Let's Slicker, guys. Izzy and Alebrelle, let Slicker finish, please. Thank you.
Some boys, stop speaking, okay, bro? Let me speak, okay? When I said,
the real fashion.
Alebrelle, let him finish.
I don't even know what the fucking liberal is, okay?
I interrupt him at least as many times as he interrupts me.
Alebrelle, let him finish. Go ahead.
Yes, Rajj.
Slicker.
I have to interrupt him at least as many times as he interrupts me.
I know. I'm trying to balance it. You're not helping my case.
Yeah, we're getting close. I've only got about 5 times more left.
Okay, go ahead, Slicker. Please finish what you were saying.
Okay, listen. This guy was saying that like we're racist and all this shit, man. Bro, you don't know me, first of all. You don't know who Canute is, okay? We are not racist. We're not racist, okay? But you saying that we are racist goes to show that you are a hateful person.
That's
Facts. Don't say no to that.
We hate fascism, and I say that with no shame.
All he's doing is stirring bullshit. All these two people, Izzy Bear, him and fucking Alebrelle are fucking stirring up shit, man.
And you misgendered me again to prove your fucking point.
Why were you banned most recently?
Why? Well, to be honest, let me say this. I'm not sure because I get confused. Okay, did I actually get banned for
I don't know. It was
Slicker doesn't know.
My understanding was that your most recent ban was for homophobic harassment.
No. What?
Are you stupid?
How do you know that?
Fuck off.
Wait.
Slicker. Asking where he heard that from. You might have an inside scoop.
Where'd you hear that from, Alebrelle? I'm curious.
Oh, I could be misinformed, but that's
he probably speaks. No, to be honest, never mind. He probably speaks.
There were Reddit. Hang on, I can try.
Go ahead.
He probably speaks
about it.
Izzy,
because you created because you've created the fucking narrative, Slicker. I was fucking terrified when you got banned because there were 6 Reddit threads suggesting it was because of our fucking combos. When I've said multiple times,
show me one Reddit. Show me one Reddit thread where it said.
I would have to go read fucking Reddit thread. No. But I know that they existed because we talked about them in all of our fucking Discords. Because I was actually terrified your fucking fan base or Raj's fan base.
Oh my god!
Because you have constantly painted the narrative. I swear to fuck, Slicker, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
All these little people. She's doing it again, Raj. She's doing it again. Trouble again, man.
6-1 in the house.
You just proved my fucking point. You did it again.
Slicker. Guys, I love this drama. I love this drama.
Look, it's true, Raj. It's true.
No, you fucking shit. I have adamantly said multiple times.
Quiet, both of you. Listen to my voice. When I talk, shut up, so you guys can get one voice at a time. All right, please. It's aiding the conversation. Nobody can understand what anybody's saying. Listen to what I say, and when I say who's talking, you talk. Period. End of story. Go ahead. Thank you.
You just did it again, Slicker. You literally just said again. That's the narrative I'm talking about. You've created on this podcast ever since my first appearance.
Disgusting.
You've said it every time.
Disgusting human. Fuck.
All right, Slicker,
you piece of shit.
Disgusting. Shut the fuck up. Right. Saying that because I spoke about that. Now you're putting the whole blame on me, which is going to get me in more trouble.
No, I'm saying that you keep creating that narrative that I'm going to get you banned when I'm not at all fucking trying to get you banned. Okay.
So at that point, which was fucking 3 months ago, you're bringing 3 months ago now back into our present. Shut the present tense. Get me in trouble again, Izzy. I'll fuck you for
I didn't get you in trouble last time. You showed fucking weapons on stream. It was an active
You said basically they were hateful.
Don't blame me.
Let me say this. Guarantee you will not find one post about yourself. Okay, don't look at yourself that. Listen. You will not find one post about yourself about that.
Okay,
situation.
Listen. Let me clear the record. Let me clear the record.
Just like that,
my voice is talking. Shut your fucking mouth. Thank you. As I was saying, the Slicker got banned for harassment, not homophobic comments.
Fuck knows. I got banned because Raj. We don't even know what I got banned for. We don't even know what I got banned for. We can't say
a reason.
They didn't know. They won't give me a reason. They probably ban me for anything. Who knows? I might get banned next week just so I can't go to Twitch.
Are you a partner, Slicker?
No.
He's the biggest affiliate.
Okay. Dusty, what were you gonna say before you got cut off by 4 different people?
Because the thing we were talking about like 20 minutes ago, Pooper Noodle's take I think was actually the best one. That it's probably better for people like Canute, like to not say that they're actually racist, but to say that they like might unintentionally perpetuate like racism or homophobia. I think that it makes people feel less attacked, and then it kind of like sets a narrative where you can kind of like attack a problem rather than a person, and it's more likely to get somebody on your side for it. As frustrating as that can be, I think.
Yeah, and I would 100% agree with that. That's what I was painting, is that this system fucking perpetuates that. I never said Canute's fucking racist or Slicker's fucking racist, but I'm being painted as the fucking problem by it. That's what's pissing me off.
Well, it's frustrating. Also, because Slicker, you do need to take responsibility for the things that you say sometimes. And
excuse me, and what do I listen? Man, the fucking whole platform's full of.
I let you speak a lot, buddy. Can you please let me just finish my sentence? Ooh. You do need to take responsibility for what you say and the words that come out of your mouth, even if your intention is not to be hateful or hurtful. If you are spouting things that people can interpret very, very easily as hateful, then you need to re-examine the words that you're using and the context that you're saying them in, buddy. Like, those are your words out of your mouth. We're not attacking you for things that you haven't said and you haven't done. We are putting your own words in front of you and saying, did you say this and what did you mean? You have to explain it now.
Like,
you gotta give us the context.
Slicker, Slicker, you're like to be who you are, so you be who you want to be. Done.
Where do we draw the line with
homie,
jokes?
If you're on Twitch,
that's what I was just gonna go into. Like who came with it? Tera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to follow up. Yeah, where do we draw the line? Where can you not joke about race at all? Like, are we so delicate today that we can't joke about anything? Where are we at?
That normalizes.
I tell jokes about race that aren't racist. Like, they do exist. Right. You just have to fucking look for them.
But why do we
new ones? You have to.
Why
not
can't we make racist jokes?
In my opinion, racist jokes are just hack, and it's like just a cheap joke that you're going to for laughs.
Okay,
it's like
you're not
try harder to be funny.
You know what's bullshit?
You know
I guarantee, you know what's funny? Yeah. Raj, everyone here saying, you know what, racism and all this. Homie, you've all said some racist shit. Do not lie to me. Off stream, no one has ever not said something
This isn't an argument. Why are you wasting so much time saying such dumb shit?
No, because they say this. Destiny, shut Bro, Destiny, you little white knight bitch. Okay, shut up, man. We know you trying to
white knighting here. Oh my god.
Homie, you white knight so many girls, bro. Stop talking.
You're white knighting the reasonable opinion.
Bro, listen. Let me say this, right? Every time these guys are like, "Oh, you're racist" and all, I guarantee every single one of you guys in here have said something racist. On my mom's life, there are people.
I think everyone
has said something.
Sure, but even if that was true, though, Slicker, there's a difference between being like. So, for instance,
they say that's being hypocritical. So what you guys are being.
Slicker, let him finish.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's got more dumb shit he wants to say. That's fine. Okay, so like, there's a difference between being as racist in private, like if you're telling a joke between one or two friends, versus being on a public platform where we're at now, right? These are two. Now you can argue you could argue both are bad, but there is a difference between what we're doing here and doing now. So like for me personally, I say incredibly horrible jokes to like one-on-one friends with people that I know, but on a public platform, I won't do that because you do create like a culture of normalizing certain hateful attitudes towards certain people. So like whether or not somebody said something personally, it doesn't really matter.
No, but they're trying to point out. They're trying to. Yes,
so interesting, Destiny. So are you saying that it's appropriate? And I'm going to go with the people that is. I'm just going to throw this out. Is it appropriate to say a racist joke in confidence in private between your three friends?
Okay. So at the end of the day, what I don't want to do is I don't want to normalize hateful attitudes towards certain people, right? So if I have a friend and I know this friend and I know that this guy doesn't hate gay people in any way, size, shape, or form, not like how Slicker kind of doesn't hate gay people, but he actually doesn't hate gay people, right? If I have a friend that I know is actually chill, we'll probably tell some jokes. We'll probably tell some jokes that involve like certain things, like it's the same thing with like racist shit and whatnot, right? Because I know that this person doesn't actually hold these horrible, attitudes. So it's cool. I don't really care. I know I don't. So it's fine. But if I'm in a larger forum, the worry that I have is if I start telling racist jokes, I don't know how many people are laughing in a way in the audience where they're thinking that there's truers in chat, right? Where you might make like a racist joke about like a Muslim like driving a truck into a crowd, and I might make that one-on-one with some friend and we kind of laugh and it's whatever. But if I make it publicly, they're going to be people in chat that are like, yeah, fucking amen, brother. Like fucking Middle Eastern dudes like do that shit, right? There's a huge difference between like the public.
But how much are you responsible for your audience, and why don't you value being your true self on your platform? I don't really understand that.
Because, hold on. That's the
Destiny, go ahead.
Jordan Peterson argument. Yeah. So the reality is that like you have a responsibility to the public discourse.
Why do you have a responsibility for your audience and what you put out there and how they interpret it? You can't possibly control how anyone else interprets something.
Wait, hold on. No, you absolutely
I would get on Let Destiny
go.
You
can try, but you can't.
No. This isn't Jodie Foster and fucking Taxi Driver inspiring somebody president. This is somebody using their words in a specifically targeted, hateful way, okay? This is not some abstract art form where you paint a picture of a gun and everyone's like, oh, you hate the fucking Second Amendment. This is people making jokes over and over again, showing a pattern of hatred, showing a pattern of targeting.
But jokes don't have any hatred in them.
Jokes can absolutely.
You said that Slicker needs to take a responsibility for the things that he says, but Canute is taking responsibility for the things he says, and he's explaining it, saying, in fact, that he is not racist.
Canute is not taking responsibility.
Exactly.
Canute is trying to explain that what he said wasn't a problem. That's not taking responsibility.
You can have the opinion that it's not a problem. You can have
it wasn't really my fault. It wasn't my gun. The gun was made by the government.
I don't like this fucking murder analogy. I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So let's follow the analogy, right? So everyone here agrees that if you have a gun and you kill somebody with it, that's probably bad, right? Everybody agrees that if you give a guy bullets to put in a gun to kill somebody, that's probably bad. Everybody agrees that if you tell a guy to kill somebody, that's probably bad. What if you are a person that makes so many jokes about how you ought to kill somebody that somebody listens to it and then they go and do it? Like, say, the New Zealand shooter. Is that bad? Because you're barely fucking one step fucking removed.
The outcome is bad, but it is not your responsibility.
Well, whose responsibility is it then if you can change it? Like, that can be on you.
The person who did it.
Yeah, but this is the 4-year-old argument. No. This is such a nice.
Anything that you say can be taken this way.
No, that's such a nice argument.
Where's the subjective cutoff for what kinds of fucking jokes you can make on stream or on a public
forum? When you normalize the hatred of a certain group of people through types of humor, you have to acknowledge that is going to have a downstream effect.
How is that normalizing it? It's not real
so
hate.
To normalize. So if I tell you yourself have probably had somebody treat you differently because they've heard so many anti-women or anti-blonde jokes, right? I don't know when I was growing up, right? So,
who cares?
Normally people that are affected by that stuff care.
Yeah.
That's not the responsibility of the person making the joke. You should be able to make any kinds of jokes with the context that it's a fucking joke.
Because women and blondes aren't murdered for the jokes that are made about them, but black people, LGBT individuals, Muslims are murdered for the jokes that are made about them.
Are you telling me that women are not murdered? Like, women are not murdered? And like women are not murdered in like wife beating jokes.
Women are not murdered
women
because of
largely
bimbos
are good call out, V. No, not my intention.
Going back to something that Destiny said, actually.
Go ahead, Pooper Noodle.
Do you think the YouTuber in question is actually responsible for what happened?
Okay, let's not. I don't want to cover this topic.
Why? Oh my god, I hate this fucking post. I hate you, Raj. Sorry.
He was, like,
we
spitting out
can
on
speak
stream.
more generally. Is it?
Oh yeah, let's speak generally.
Destiny, do you really want to talk about it?
Sure, why? We're not gonna get fucking banned for it. I don't know why you think you're gonna get banned.
I don't think I'm gonna get banned. It's just something I really don't want to cover. That's
Why?
what I'm saying.
No, but like genuinely, why?
Oh, because you want to get fucking PewDiePie on for the next Raj?
No, I don't give a shit. No. It's not. I just don't want to cover the topic. That's all. You can speak generally on it, like
sure. So generally, if you platform the fuck out of people that spread a certain ideology, then some percentage of your fan base is going to get sucked into that hole. That's just a fact of life. Ben Shapiro being hosted on PewDiePie shit is going to have some percentage of his audience checking out Ben Shapiro, and some percentage of those people are going to be funneled into weird fucking white nationalist shit. Like that's just going to happen. So I mean, you have to take responsibility for it. It's incredibly.
But if you make it taboo, people are going to think it's cool and go seek it out, and then actually instead of normalizing it and making like the sunlight is the best disinfectant argument.
Oh,
like
honey,
you were saying,
how is that work? The
difference
sunlight is the
between something
best
cabinet.
disinfectant. Is the entirety of Europe like right-leaning popularity is growing and growing? Like fucking Brexit's happened. Fucking Trump is elected. Fucking anti-immigrant sentiments are up over fucking France. We saw Le Pen. We've got the UKIP and
But that's because you're demonizing
sunlight.
You're demonizing your opponents. So everyone is demonizing, not you. Everyone is demonizing their opponents so much that we're like losing parts of our humanity, and everyone's like fucking becoming like really tribal.
But some
Because
of our
we are
opponents are actually
demonizing people that are transphobic, homophobic.
Why not see where they're coming from and talk through it and explain them?
Because where they're
People
coming
don't
from is from a
understand
point
it.
of hate.
Because they're
If you
killing us.
explain why they hate, if you
Do
explain
you know
why
how
they
many
hate and investigate why they hate, maybe we can figure a way to stop that
okay,
hate from
okay,
going
Investigating
on.
what
One at a time, guys.
radicalization from these voices that causes them to do it. That's what we're talking about.
What was the first part? Sorry, you were like cut off for me.
Investigating why they hate leads back to the voices telling them to hate. It's the exact discussion we're having right
How
now.
so?
No, let me.
How are they
What do you
telling
mean,
them that?
how so?
How?
This
Well,
is
tap
the
me.
well-studied form of how radicalization happens.
Okay, so I went and checked my source to make sure that I'm fucking accurate before I state this statistic, right? We have seen a statistical fucking documented rise in hate crimes by 226% in areas where Trump holds rallies because they use racist, homophobic, and transphobic rhetoric. Literally, having a platform and spewing this shit leads to direct
How do you
fucking
know
acts
that
of violence.
correlation
That's a
is the
proven
causation?
fucking statistic.
They said that the majority of the
You
people
can
that
take
they
any kind of
interviewed-
statistic
No.
Would you like
The majority of the people that they interviewed said that Trump was an inspiration for their act. Actually.
Yeah, I can link you and you can go
There's
through all the
They can
causation.
link to a random
You just
person and
asked
just call
for
out a random person.
causation.
I mean that
Hold
person.
on.
One at a time.
Was it
Alebrelle, quiet. Go ahead, Invader.
No, they are not linking to a random person. It's weird that individually these people sort of independently are all linking back to one person. That is where you have to say there is a responsibility. Independently, these people are linking back to a single event that happened in their city, which made them feel like they had permission to act in an incredibly violent and
Those people are
antisocial
mentally
way.
disabled if they're gonna.
The rate's going up by 200.
It is so much effort to avoid any sort of responsibility to an
I
audience.
know.
When these are the most like I look at this, my eyes roll so fucking hot. I worry they're gonna fall on my head. Like somebody will get up and they'll tell like anti-Islam joke, anti-gay joke, anti-fucking person of color joke, and then at the end they'll be like, wait, what? I can't help it if any of my audience is hateful towards any. Like it is the most predictable, obvious shit in the world. Go around communities on Twitch. It's very obvious. Like the type of jokes that you say, the type of humor that you normalize leads to certain types of communities. Like don't tell me that the people on Poll laugh at the same fucking jokes as the people on fucking.
Those communities exist just as strongly. It's just they grab to the mainstream person who makes those jokes because those jokes are funnier for different reasons.
But
the
that's
reason
not-
I
but the-
laugh at a racist joke is a different reason why a white supremacist or something will laugh at a
And
racist
that's
joke.
great for
There
you.
are
And
no
I used to
mass
think-
murderers that have written a fucking manifesto saying Hillary and Bernie inspired me to go kill dozens of people.
That guy was a fucking troll. If you can't see
That
that
guy
from the manifesto,
individually was.
It was a troll.
The
He was
last
a
guy
guy.
justifying
he
trolling
wanted these
The guy
arguments to
before
happen.
that,
This division
no,
is
no,
stronger.
no.
Keemstar argument. Oh,
was.
no.
They're all always the same individual.
Even if you want to use that bullshit cop out, and that is entirely a bullshit cop out, but if you want to let you do that instead of holding you actually accountable, You're justifying people being trolls and making those shit comments when we can hand you direct evidence of someone you would call that fits that narrative going and shooting a bunch of fucking Muslims. There is a fucking problem with that, right?
The line is crossed when there's violence. Yes.
Oh.
Destiny, can I ask you a question,
No
Destiny?
shit, that's what we're saying.
How is a racist joke on a Twitch stream that gets someone banned for a subjective fucking TOS the same thing as someone going and violently shooting something?
It's not the
We
same
already
thing.
drew that line for you.
It's that one predictably can cause the other to happen through because society is complicated and people are complicated and the world is more complicated than, well, I'm not racist because I don't lynch black people. Like, it's not that easy anymore.
Destiny, can I ask you a question?
The left is constantly joking about guillotining the capitalists. How many have been killed so far?
Yeah. How many guillotines have actually rolled out?
That's a great point for my argument.
How?
The left,
They're joking
the
and nothing's
radical
happening and it's
left
fine.
aren't murdering anyone.
Okay, so left-wing jokes are okay, but right-wing jokes aren't. Is that
Because they don't lead to murder. Correct.
Yeah,
The
literally the
difference
difference
is-
Hold on. I want to make this very
I don't
clear.
like that argument.
I want to be clear here.
Like, you could have a point, but I don't like that argument.
Left-wing jokes are okay, but the other ones aren't. Is that what
I don't like
Ones that lead
Okay, let's go to
actual murder.
Izzy, go ahead.
Like I've said,
wait,
leftist
wait.
propaganda.
I'm sorry. So your metric then is so we start making jokes and you're like, oh, this is okay. There's no actual harm coming from it. But then if a certain group does start acting on the behalf of those jokes, like seriously, then that's where you draw the line. So because there has been right-wing violence,
drawing a fucking line, but that's not the real problem, right? The problem lies in the source of the jokes. For this analogy, right? When a lefty, a fucking diehard commie, starts talking about eating rich or giving fucking, they're not actually physically
really
talking.
bad. Babe.
You're cutting out. Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, I can understand what she's saying.
Is this
mostly,
better?
but-
Can you guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's better.
So, like, it's the basis in these ideologies, right? When the left makes these jokes about guillotining somebody, eating rich, giving someone the whatever, it could be a little fucking crash and a little cool, and some people probably do take it a bit too far. Even us leftists should be able to fucking critique that. However, the ideology behind it isn't actually to go out and do those things. It's talking about the flawed fucking system. When you usually find really serious racist jokes and fucking homophobic jokes and hate speech involving jokes, they're actually talking about how much they hate these fucking people and that something...
You can't keep talking about what the intention of the person making the joke is. We have to talk about the correlation between how many of these jokes actually become action. If you're trying to say that the thing you,
even
the
if
thing
we
you
want to
value
line it...
most is just no
That
matter
was
what
my
at all
entire
cost,
point.
we lower. Yeah, I'm trying to get on your side now. I'm not trying to get on your side, but I'm trying to understand your side honestly.
Sure.
So if you're saying that just statistically, no matter what, every time the right wing will act upon these jokes that are rude.
No
and
one's
the
ever
left
said
wing won't.
every time. The problem is
No, I'm
there
not
is
saying
a
every time, I'm
marginal,
saying, like-
measurable amount that they have already acted on and will continue to act on.
Okay,
Right?
so-
we can see this correlation. Ergo,
So is
it should
one-
be in our best interest to protect people, and doing so means doing something about this correlation. Correct?
Sorry.
I think it depends on your priorities. I think Destiny and a lot of people on the left, they often have this specific priority that's just based solely on we need to care for people as much as possible. But
she says it like it's
Incorrect. So my goal is that I don't appeal to some random arbitrary bullshit value like freedom of speech that is totally fucking vacuous. What I appeal to is at the end of the day, we should probably construct a society that benefits the most amount of people. This is what I generally adhere to as a principle. So when I look at something like hate speech, my question is, can telling certain types of racist jokes lead people to be radicalized and hateful of certain groups of people and inevitably lead to violence? If the answer to that is yes, then the response is we should probably curb that type of humor rather than like screaming like, well, freedom of speech, blah, 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 which means nothing, which is a totally pointless argument. I would rather see like, what are the actual impacts of certain types of speech? Should the speech be there or should we try to curb it?
Can I come in? Can I come in with a hot one real quick? And you're free to tell me to fuck off, Tara. But can I ask you a personal question on this one?
absolutely.
When you took the picture with the like "Make America Great Again" hat, was it for like actual belief in that political system, or were you like
No.
trolling the internet?
No,
Because it's posted all over fucking right wing threads. People are blowing up my DMs with it right now, and I need to know if it's altruistic. or not.
So I got the hat in a fucking video. I put the hat on, I took a picture, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not Trump deranged, I don't support Trump. I don't care about that at all.
Okay. That's why I asked. I didn't want to use something out of context.
But okay, so for instance, if I make a joke about like supporting Trump or something in a video, even if I don't, like am I responsible for anything that someone would do because they're like, oh, blonde with titties likes Trump, so I'm gonna dig deeper into the fucking
joke
right
once,
wing?
Probably not. Make it 5 times? Probably not. Do it every single
Everything
video,
here
though?
is
Yes.
so fucking subjective. How many lives have to be lost? How many jokes? What's the frequency of the jokes? Like, to me, I'm not seeing a clear, like, I want to understand why.
Well, there is no clear answer. That's the problem. This is a subjective thing to decide on.
So angry about something that's so subjective.
Are you familiar with the FBI report that came out, I think it was last year, maybe 2017, with the percentage of terrorist action in America done by the FBI, showing that 80% of that was perpetrated by white nationalists?
Isn't it right wing, not white nationalists?
The exact determination, I don't remember 100%. I don't have it.
Hold on, somebody. There's a viewer question. There's a viewer question that came in. So they want to ask Alebrelle or the people that say $5 donation. So what about the people of color or other races making jokes towards white people and then people murder white people? What about that?
What?
Okay. Wait, real quick. Okay, I can do this in 1 minute. Okay. So there's a difference between joking about black people versus joking about white people. So the smooth brain level 1 take is, well, if you can't joke about one race, you can't joke about any race, right? But typically what we're talking about are people that are in majority versus minority status. So when we talk about majority minority, we're talking about positions of power. This is why women can be considered a minority, even though they're a majority of the population. They hold minority power. Okay. When majority power people joke about minority power people, oftentimes the harm behind that is felt more because majority people don't usually feel harm in society. Like if you're white or male in society, you're not normally disadvantaged by virtue of being white or male, right? You don't lose opportunities in society because you're white, or you don't lose opportunities because you're male, right? So joking about people that are white and male is generally okay because nothing actually bad is happening to them, except maybe somebody might say something mean to you on fucking Twitter. Whereas joking about like people that
they called me white.
Yeah, so whereas like when you joke about like people of color or you joke about like people in other kind of minority statuses, so LGBT people, et cetera, these people face very real problems in society. They are killed oftentimes. Nobody's killed generally just for being straight or just for being white. There are some people that are killed because of their skin color or because of their LGBT status, right? That's generally why we say it's probably not a good idea. People will talk about this in terms of punching up or punching down. It's generally not a good idea for majority power people to make fun of minority power people because it has a very nasty like nefarious connotation. Wait, what did you? Are you responsible for your audience?
Yeah, that
absolutely,
100%. That's what the Twitch terms of service says. I read
the Twitch terms of service. Who the fuck cares what those say?
Who cares?
Just like morally, like you are absolutely responsible for your audience on every platform. You have a huge control over what your audience thinks. Like, and if you think otherwise, fuck, you're so naive.
Morally, sure, but I think the more important thing of what Casey is saying is the lawyers for Amazon have said, one of the most powerful lawyer groups in existence in America have said the blame has to be laid legally on the person saying the thing, not the person owning the platform.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I have a question for you.
Powerful people that are interpreting our legal system say that the person saying the thing is responsible for the action of the people hearing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Destiny, say something like awful happened, like what happened recently, and it was one of your fans, and they said your name. How would you take responsibility for that?
So what I would see is, do I say things that make me feel like they could lead to violent actions? So for instance, here's something that does exist in my community that I have been addressing because I'm very uncomfortable. I have a lot of fucking lefty fans now, a lot of fucking commies and shit that make jokes about like hanging and killing capitalists. I don't like that shit. I never perpetuate it. When I see it, I call it out, and I specifically tell people that I don't like those types of jokes because I don't think it's funny as lefties to constantly talk about like eating and killing like fucking business owners and shit. I don't think that's funny, and I don't like it, right? So in my opinion, I don't perpetuate narratives that support violence against people that I don't think you should support violence against. Now,
but that's just based on your moral compass and what you see as problematic in your community. It's very subjective, and to get angry.
There is not a single right-leaning person on the internet, I swear, and I will prove this on the 4th when I shit in the fucking mouth of the 2 dipshits that Train invited. There is not a single fucking conservative on the internet that can defend whatever crazy fucking notions they have of what qualifies as hate speech or not in their realm. People on the right are universally laughed at by anybody with any inkling of any idea of what they're talking about when it comes to either moral systems or responsibility for speech or social systems, because they're totally clueless when it comes to like taking responsibility for things that their audience says or the types of narratives that they perpetuate that could lead to violence.
I'll tell you.
Good job.
Let me add real quick. Let me add.
Go on, T-Rex. Go on, son.
That's unbelievable. The way he's
I actually forgot. Continue.
Okay, so can I say something then?
Yeah, go ahead, Pooper.
Is there any way we can continue this conversation into the next round? Is there any way you can hold on to what you're going to say?
I think we should change the topic.
Okay.
I think you should shut the fuck up, and I'll change the topic when I want to change it. All right? Just because we're not talking about whip peeking and dueling in the duel arena doesn't mean that it's not a topic.
Nobody said something about RS. Nobody said that, bro.
All right,
I'm
okay.
just saying we've been talking this for 45 minutes
I
now.
don't give a fuck what you think. If you don't want to be here, leave.
The thing is that, like, over time, joking about certain things normalizes certain things, right? How many people used to joke about, you know, black people being stupid, and now there's unironically a pretty big movement online, at least, of people that think that black people are genetically inferior to white people in terms of IQ. These people aren't joking. Humor is a really good way for you to normalize a certain attitude, and then for you to introduce that attitude unironically later on and have people be more receptive to it because you've joked about it so much. This isn't controversial. It's not even hard to understand. And every single person in here has literally seen it happen to themselves. So when somebody is part of a group, and this is why I try not to tone police too much, although I do a lot, but like when somebody like Izzy or Alebrelle is part of a group that gets like viciously targeted by people that are very hateful, have to listen to other people that are unaffected say things like, well, I don't see how my humor could ever lead to anything actually bad happening. It's an incredibly frustrating topic to take up because you've seen what happens firsthand when people are hateful, and everybody here knows the path from humor to hate, and it's very easy to understand. So it feels really strange trying to explain it to somebody when everyone has seen it happen firsthand. That's the frustration with these types of topics.
Joke about it until the punchline really lands.
Easy fucking clap in chat.
In a way, joking about these things repeatedly desensitizes people to these topics.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Wait. It desensitizes people to the topics in the wrong type of way. For instance, like if I were to say something like black people are genetically, intellectually inferior to white people, what it desensitizes you to is that idea. So like if I were to walk up to a normal person, so for instance, there are some people that like are totally, oh fuck. So the fucking person I'm hanging out with last night, like we talk about some of this stuff, and I bring up that idea about race realism, and her first response was like that she was fucking shocked. She's like, wait, what? People online actually think that black people are genetically inferior? Because she'd never heard that before. So bringing it up to her, she was shocked. However, if you talk to a random person on the internet and you bring that up, they probably are desensitized. They're like, oh shit, well maybe that's true, because they've already heard the humor so many times. Like desensitizing somebody to a topic isn't necessarily the best way to approach it, because you do want people to have visceral reactions to some topics, right? Like should you, like murder people for being gay, or should, right? You don't want people to be desensitized to these topics necessarily.
So it's not enough to you to just like shut down anyone coming in who's actually like spouting the bullshit that it's just a joke.
I spent my whole like fucking last like 3 years of my stream doing this, and there are still certain people that I can't talk about race realism on stream because these people are such bad faith actors. Like people like Ben Shapiro, look at how popular this guy is, right? And he platforms some of the dumbest fucking arguments I've ever seen in my life. Look at people like Jordan Peterson, who are woefully uneducated in every realm outside of his specific niche in psychology that has grown to massive levels of popularity on the internet, platforming horrible fucking arguments, right? A lot of these people are
But you don't think that people were pushed that way because there is a feeling from the privileged people that they're becoming the unprivileged people because of how much people can shit on them and not on the other? If we
Let me cut you off real quick, Destiny, on this one. No, you can go and watch. This is literally how they tell you to do it in crypto fascism. You don't have to believe us on this. You can go watch Richard Spencer on a fucking podcast on YouTube where he tells you to use jokes to normalize this, hide your power level, and don't say you're an actual Nazi. This is the literal playbook. That you can go and watch that from an outspoken, proud Nazi and know that that's what they do. Like, I still don't understand why this is a conversation.
That people try to do that. It's that trying to it's really hard for me to vocalize this. I don't know.
Yeah, so you're trying to say like trying to shut down all of these types of arguments like basically causes them to fester or whatever? Like people's thoughts will still fester and they won't actually like do anything to change their mind. They just kind of like keep it to themselves, and then they reveal their power level during elections like in the United States.
I just don't think I think we agree, but there's a disconnect at some certain point on the application.
Yeah, I guess I just like
about desensitization. So we talked about jokes and stuff, but what do you think about words? People overusing words and them being desensitized, like the F word, the N word, the R word.
I mean, it depends on the type of word and the context that it's in. So for me, I stopped using I don't know if Roger, I won't say it here, but I stopped using the F slur word in 2013 because I had a moment in my life where I realized that I was around some people that used it, but they actually hated gay people. And when that happened, it made me very uncomfortable because what I started to think was like, oh shit, well, if I say that on my stream, are there actually people that hate gay people in my audience? So usually when I approach like a type of word, that's usually kind of like how I think about it. Like am I casting some people in a bad light that I don't mean to, or am I empowering certain groups of people that I don't mean to? So like, for instance, like over the past like few months, especially, I've tried really hard to stop using retarded and autistic, even though it can kind of be descriptive of the way some people are acting. I don't want somebody that watches my stream. Like I might have a fan with like, you know, Down syndrome or something, or some learning disability who thinks that I unironically think that they're like a huge piece of shit, you know, because I call somebody else retarded. So I mean, I don't know. I think that you should like kind of be somewhat careful. I try to make fun of people for physical appearance because you could catch a lot of people with that too. I mean, like there are tons of ways to make fun of people. I just think sometimes casting a really wide net like achieves like a pretty bad outcome sometimes.
Okay, what happens, because you say it's okay to do it behind closed doors and stuff like that. So what happens when you have 3 friends, you make a racist joke that you know is fine with them, you have a falling out with one of them, and then they expose you for being completely different in person than you are on your stream? You can explain it all you want. You can explain this position, but there will be people who take away from it, just like with the incest bullshit, that you're into incest or bestiality or some bullshit, and you can't control that. It's the nature of being a public figure.
Well, I mean, if somebody leaks conversations, I would say that's wrong. But like, I mean, like, and people do judge people for what gets leaked. But I mean, I don't do that ever. Like, I even explicitly didn't say that necessarily PewDiePie was racist for saying the N-word on stream. You know, there's a whole like what somebody says behind closed doors. I don't care. I don't think people should necessarily care. I mean,
but other people will.
Sure, but like, I don't think they should. But that's a totally separate conversation.
Like, people will take you as like some right-wing figure if someone finds out that you have ever made a racist joke and you can't control that.
It's very
so
rare.
So why are you
happens.
sanitizing?
Guys,
okay, so it's based on a ratio.
Guys,
you're trying to find like a comfortable. Sorry,
Babcock. I love your last name, by the way, Babcock. Sorry. There's rhetoric that Scandinavians are claiming that they don't support, and Canute is like a minority in Scandinavia. I'm very curious. Can you get a hold of those people, Izzy?
I know a minority. Yeah, there's always some weirdos there as well. We have them.
Okay, all right.
I mean, basically, like the idea that like racism doesn't exist in some country is not true. It's just
no, of course it exists racism. But it's not on the same level as it is in America, and people don't see smaller things like you in America see as racism. You can make some jokes about different stereotypes there.
Damn it. Hold on. I don't want to go into racism again. What I'm trying to say is...
No, but that's what he got into racism.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is Canute has all these philosophies and ideas that he preaches constantly, and then when anybody goes on him about it, one of your most powerful arguments, Canute, is that it's just how it is in Scandinavia, right? But there are multiple different people from Scandinavia, according to Destiny and Alebrelle, that claim that that's not the representation of Scandinavia. So that's I'm just objectively...
What is the claim being made here?
Well, that's what you said, Destiny, and Alebrelle and other people said that there's people in Scandinavia that don't endorse what Canute is saying.
Yeah, but you have to consider the source.
Okay, Rajj, let me clarify, Rajj.
Okay, all right.
Let me clarify.
Forget it, Canute.
What I've said is the type of humor that I've had, the type of humor that I've used, that's used on national TV, national radio, and most people see it as okay. Right. And there's always some people that have been too much on Twitter reading fucking American SJW comment.
Press 3 in the chat if you're from Scandinavia, okay? And if you're from Scandinavia, Julie, thank you for subscribing, by the way.
This is a really bad way to prove anything, because you could get one person that comes on and fully supports Canute, or you could get one person or 2 people that come on and fully support me.
Forget it. All right, Destiny. All right. You know what? Forget it. It's all right. Forget it.
Because like, if you want me to pull people from my community, obviously they're going to agree with me. Like, I could get like 10.
All right. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is their personal opinions is irrelevant. What I'm trying to say is the prevailing thought in Scandinavia, the majority thought, is it like Canute's mind, or is it like somebody else's? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The majority thought of what? That you can use really racist jokes? Or what is the majority thought that you're talking about?
Just general, like, just Canute, the way he says things, his philosophy.
Are most people in Norway bodybuilders that shave their whole body?
No, of course not.
Like, what are you asking?
All right. Okay, anyway.
I'm sorry. Please don't get mad at me as you did at Otoblock.
Destiny, what I said right now is actually true. The type of humor that I've used, that's allowed there. For fuck's sake. You're actually racist against me for having this accent, Rajj. Oh, fuck you.
So, Rajj, interestingly, I looked up the hate crime statistics from the FBI and the OSCE, Sweden's department that tracks this. In Sweden, 4,800 hate crimes recorded in their country, 2016. Here in America, 8,400. Keep in mind, Sweden has a
Holy
population
shit.
of 10 million.
Wow.
America has a population in excess of 350 million. So per capita, they are.
It's immigrants raping Swedish girls, actually.
Canute, let's.
Oh, Canute, that was bad.
No, but that's actually true.
Canute, that was so bad.
About a third of the American population.
Way over the line.
Whereas
Way over the line.
roughly 5